What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. As you know, I have been so unbelievably excited for Sorcery Contested Realms. This is a game that's on Kickstarter. I don't remember if the Kickstarter is over or not by the time I post this video, but I have been taking a look at a lot of the cards on the website, taking a look at a lot of the cards that I have from the test deck stuff that I got, and I've just been absolutely amazed by the game and so excited to open packs and check it out that I wanted to do a little video. I know not all the cards are out yet, where I take a look at my top 10 cards that I just think look cool or that I'm really excited about the gameplay mechanics, and just take a look at the cards. So that's what we're going to do here. Make sure you go check out the Sorcery Contested Realms Kickstarter. I will be doing a how to play video here in a couple of weeks, hopefully before the end of the campaign. We'll see if I have time to get to it. So check this out. This is I'm going to just kind of go through some of my favorite cards. This is number one is the Seer, and this is an avatar. So this is actually what runs, you are playing as in Sorcery. And this Seer has, it's a spellcaster, so, it gets all the spellcaster triggers and can do all the things that spellcasters can do, as I believe all of the avatars are. And then every avatar, I think everyone has the tap to play a site from your atlas. But here's the special ability that I just think it seems like it might be a little bit overpowered. I have no clue. But when you draw a spell, so when you draw from your spell deck, instead draw 2 and put 1 back, you may pay 1 life to put that basically to scry and put it on the bottom of your spellbook instead. This card is going to be so much fun to play with, and it's going to really open up the decks, really allow you to kind of go through and get the cards that you want. Obviously, being able to draw 2 instead of 1 and pick 1 is a very good. It's very good, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then obviously on all these cards, the artwork is just so much fun to look at. I could just look at that artwork all day, and you can just find different things and take a look. So that's the avatar that I'm probably going to build when I get when I get everything and pop in. All right, Angel's Eggs is the first actual card that I want to talk about. This is a elite relic. So first off, if you're not familiar, this kind of elite word is the rarity of the card. So this is going to be one of the rarer cards to get. And then it's a relic, which is the card type. And then there's always like some other flavorful thing here. Angel's Egg. So this costs 3. It's like a relic, right? So it's like an artifact. At the start of the owner's turn, the owner of the site gains 2 life. So this is why I think this card's really cool. It's so flavorful. You drop this relic somewhere on the battlefield, then you go out and you fight, and then you like die. And in Sorcery, you get put to at death's door, basically. And so you could actually come back, I believe you could come back to this Angel's Eggs while you're at death's door at 0 life and gain some life and try to like keep yourself alive. So there's this element of like you leave the egg behind and then you're rushing and there's like a race to get there. This really exemplifies the board state idea, the grid-based system of this TCG that I think is really cool. So I really like the Angel's Egg. Earthquake, another just like really, really cool thematic card. This is an earth card, obviously. As you can see up there, you have to have 2 earth landmarks basically in order to play this. You have to have 5 mana, but you have to also have 2 earth landmarks that are on your sites. And this one, it's really cool. Again, this is an elite card. But you pick a target block of 4 locations, and then you bury or burrow all the grounded minions in the affected non-water sites. So again, it's just this really thematic. It tells a story that there was an earthquake, and everybody kind of fell in and got burrowed. I just love the thematic nature. And then obviously the artwork's just so cool. It looks like 3D where you're like falling. You can see the earth falling above you. So cool. Another Earth one that I really thought was cool, and I wanted to highlight like how spiky this game can be, but also how many other cards there are in this. You have a counter spell here in Earth, colors or whatever, and counter target elite spell as it's being cast. So this is an elite spell that counters an elite spell. It's just cool that there's some balanced nature in here. I know the game is very powerful, and that's one of the things that they want it to be. They want it to be a casual game with a lot of powerful cards, and so you can counter those powerful cards with this counter spell. And I'm a big fan of counter spells in TCGs. I think it's a lot of fun. I think there's nothing more fun in my opinion than countering your opponent's like really strong spells. It's just such a wild experience, and I really enjoy it. Again, artwork is just absolutely fantastic. The giant shark. Oh my gosh, look at this giant shark eating a mermaid. Here's why I like this one. It's a water card. Obviously you need, you have to have some water. It's exceptional, which I believe is like uncommon, if I'm not mistaken. It moves freely, whatever. I don't care about that. Here's the cool stuff. It must attack a table, including friendly minions. I just love the idea that you like summon this giant shark that's just like chaotic. It's just chaos, and it's just like eating your own minions and like can do damage to your own stuff. I think that's really cool. It tells the story, and this is what Sorcery is really trying to do, and that is to tell a story to those who are playing the game. And I think that is such a fun element to this, and I think it adds a lot to the gameplay. So it's fun. Anyway, now we're getting into some of these site cards, and this one I mostly picked because of the artwork. I am a big fan of artwork that mixes the void. Seb McKinnon does a fantastic job of this in Magic the Gathering, that mixes this kind of void with the real world. And like, this is a card that I'm just gonna want to look at and have, like, if they did an art print for this, I would totally pick up an art print for this and put it on my wall. I just think it's really beautiful. So this is if you're not familiar with the game yet, the sites are basically your resources. You play a site, and then your minions and your avatars can actually go to the site. But then you also in the game have the void, where you're not able to go to. And so when you play this site, you get to see that void, which is really cool. Again, thematic. The nature of this is really cool. And then other players can't play, or any players can't play sites near this site. So it really plays into that flavor of like the void and the landmarks coming out, and in the site. It's just really cool. Anyway, I just think it's sweet. Mirror Realm, another site that I think is really cool artwork. This one is, again, it's just cool. It mirrors the threshold and abilities of adjacent sites, including, Genesis is when you plop it down and play it. So then you get, if your opponent plays something really cool, or if you have a really good site that you play, it basically doubles that. It's really, really good. And again, the nature of the artwork is just phenomenal. It's just super good. All right, last site is Stonehenge. Minions have Spellcaster. I think that's super cool, where you can actually bring your minions, and then it like breaks the rules. And I love cards in card games that break the rules of the card games. Like, one of the rules is that minions can't cast spells. So like, whenever you are casting a spell, if it has a location around it, you're using your Spellcaster, your avatar, to to determine where that is. And there's a few other minions that have Spellcaster, but this is like, it gives all, like, your shark could, if your shark was here, and I don't think the shark could be there because it's not water, right? You get what I mean. Waterbound, it moves freely. Anyway, I don't know how that exactly works, but your minion that didn't have Spellcaster, you can break the rule a little bit on this site and give it Spellcaster, which I think is really cool and makes for some really unique gameplay strategies that people won't expect. I think that's really unique and really cool. All right, two more. We've got Flash Fires, and this card really highlights, the next two cards are both going to really highlight how unique the grid-based system allows us to be with splash damage. And then also, again, the thematic nature. I know I keep saying that, but that's what this game's really trying to do. That's what Sorcerer's really trying to be. So Flash Fires, you play it near your Spellcaster, and then it deals 4 splash damage wherever it's summoned. And then it moves. And at the start of your turn, if it moves to an adjacent previously unburned site. So you place it, and then the next turn it moves. So you have to decide where it moves. And then when it moves to that, it also does splash damage. So it's just kind of this wildfire that's really cool, that kind of goes across the board, burning everything, dealing damage to everything. Again, it creates this unpredictable nature for the game, which I think is really, really good for some casual play. But also, if you are a talented enough player, I think you'll be able to break this kind of stuff to make it really, really go off. And that's pretty cool too. Lastly is... lastly is Meteor Shower, and this is something I really think does a really good job of explaining the grid-based system in a really unique, cool way. So these are 3 meteors that are hitting, and you get to decide. You place the 3 meteor strikes on the playing field wherever you want, and you get to decide where the damage is dealt. So obviously, if you place, the small one here, it deals 2 damage to this character, and then 1 damage to each one near it. This one is 5 damage to, you know, anybody, so it's splash damage, so it's 5 damage to anybody in this section, and then 3 to this section, and this one's 7, and it just shows how cool and unique the cards can be when you have this grid-based system. It's a very powerful card. You know, you need 7 sites or landmarks or whatever to be able to play this, plus 3 of them have to be fire. So it's a very powerful card. Of course, you can always, you know, negate this with your elite counterspell, which again is really cool how that all works. But I just think this kind of game, this kind of card really sets up what the game's trying to do, which is a creative nature of the grid-based system, and it tells a story. You know, even in this card, there's 3 stories happening. There's 3 different meteors that hit in a different spot strategically. So I think it's super cool. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about Sorcery. What are your favorite cards so far? What's your favorite artwork in the set? And I hope you're backing this game. Again, I have no financial, I just think the game's fantastic. It's on Kickstarter right now, so go do that. Hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again next video.